Hi guys, welcome to my study with me for the Easter holiday. So last time I made a video, which is like ages ago, I was still at school technically, but now I'm at university. For those who don't know, I'm at Oxford University studying Chinese, and basically every term at the start of term at Oxford we have these exams called collections. They're just little exams to check how we're doing, so I'm just doing a study date for that. I don't study like this every day, so don't think that I'm some like crazy. I mean, I don't know. This is like a medium study day. You know, sometimes I do more, sometimes I do less, sometimes I do none. But anyway, the first thing that I'm doing today, that I do every single day, no matter, like, this is the basic thing I do, is an hour of Anki. So Anki is this really, really powerful. It's like Quizlet basically, but like taken to the max. It's, you know, like a flashcard software, but it's so good because it has an algorithm, so it gives you cards every day depending on what things you need to learn, and it makes you review cards. I will do a video on Anki at some point because I love it so much. I've been doing it every day since October, and so I always start with about an hour of Anki every morning, because that's what I'm doing now. After Anki, I'm doing half an hour of classical Chinese. So the way that I study on a day like this is to basically do half an hour slots, chunks at a time, with 5 minutes break in between. And that actually works really well because for my degree, at least for this first year, it's split into 3 parts: into classical Chinese, Mandarin Chinese, and then like a Chinese culture paper. So I basically do half an hour of each of those, and then take a longer break, and then half an hour of each of those again, and then that's 3 hours, plus the Anki is 4 hours. So what I'm doing here is basically we have this reader that we're working through of old classical Chinese texts. This is taken from the Mengzi, which is like this Chinese philosophical text, and I'm just doing some translations from it and flagging up words that I don't know, and just, you know, doing some translations. Next up is half an hour of Chinese culture work. So because my exams are going to be open book this term and for the rest of this year, what I'm doing is going through all my essays that I've written this year so far and pulling all the different statistics that I used in all the essays and all the different quotations that I used to make arguments, and putting them in one big document, kind of like a cheat sheet. So in the exam I can just find the relevant piece of evidence that I need, pull it straight into the exam essay, and I'm also including the citations there, so I don't have to worry about fiddling around with citations in the exam because I'll already have it done automatically. And then my last little half an hour chunk before lunch is Mandarin. So what I'm doing here for Mandarin is I'm going through all my grammar homeworks from this term and redoing all the translation sentences that we had to do. I'm doing them, you know, blind, so I'm not using any notes or any dictionaries or anything, and I'm just testing myself to see how many I get right. Then I basically just look through the answers once I've done with that, and any that I've got wrong I'm flagging up to go over again later, just to make sure I'm getting all the grammar stuck in my head. After that first half, I'm going into lunch. So here's me making lunch. You know, this is not only a study with me, it's a cook with me, or come dine with me. I'm making, you know, some fried rice with tempeh. I love tempeh. It's a great meat substitute. I love it so much. With, you know, some peppers and some onions, and just frying it all together with some teriyaki sauce. After lunch, what I'm doing is just making some Anki flashcards from my revision notes for the Chinese culture part of the course. As I said, I'll make a video about Anki and how I make flashcards and how I use them, but this is me just making some flashcards so I can then study them like I do every morning. Okay, so I let my food go down, and now because it's nice and sunny outside, I'm just doing like 15 minutes of, I don't know, just jumping up and down, skipping, whatever you want to call it. I love skipping, I think it's great, it's nice and fun, especially in the sun. And yeah, I just did 15 minutes of that, a nice quick workout in between all this work. And then we're back to some Mandarin after that. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking this Chinese song that I really like called Ni Yao Da Ai, and I'm just like translating it. It's just a fun exercise to do some translation work. It's, you know, not too strenuous, but it's always fun. And I really love this song so much. This song's so good. So during my little 5-minute break, I actually just listened to the song because, oh my god, all my classmates will know I'm obsessed with it. Literally, I love the song so much, so that's why I gave it a translation. After that, I'm back to doing some classical Chinese. So what I'm doing here is taking the textbook that we've been working through so far and just retranslating different passages and sentences that we've already translated. And then once I've done that, I'm going to compare them to the correct translations and again, see if I've made any mistakes, see which areas I need to improve on, see if there's any words that I keep slipping up on. And yeah, it's a really good, really useful exercise to do that, to go over things I've already done and see where I need to improve. After the main bit of work for the day, I actually had a shift booked at a vaccine centre near me because I'm like a volunteer steward, just guiding people into car parks. What I actually do there is I download my lectures as MP3s and just listen to them as podcasts on my earphones whilst I'm stewarding. After my shift, I came back and made some pancakes for dinner because I was feeling the need. You gotta treat yourself on these study days. After that, I went into a workout for half an hour to kind of round everything off after my pancakes. I've really been into using resistance bands recently because obviously the gyms are closed. Finally, after all that, before I watched some Netflix for the night, I just did some reading for the Chinese culture part of the course, just some extra reading. I didn't take notes or anything because I was too exhausted, but I like to pretend it's just going into my brain by osmosis or something. So here I am doing some reading, and yeah, so that brings me to the end of my study day / vaccine shift day. Just a lot of random things going on today, but I really hope you enjoyed this video. As I said, I'm going to make some videos about Anki and about my studying techniques, my revision techniques. If you have any video requests specifically, please just let me know in the comments below. Alright, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.